This whole world of amateur baseball exists outside of our borders and across in different countries, and we got people from the UK, Australia, Ireland, even. I've been itching to really meet this guy that I'm bringing on today. He's the first BTOP member from across the pond, so in the UK. And I'm telling you right now, I'm going to butcher his name, so I'll let him pronounce it correctly.
Csaba Szilagyi.
Okay. Csaba. I'm just gonna have a hard time with it. We have to give you a nickname of some sort. Apologize for my lack of linguistic diversity, man. I appreciate you being here, though.
That's all right. Everybody has problem with it, but nothing to worry. It's not an easy language.
Hey, so as we talk, there are people that are watching that I can see them pop up. I don't know if you can. So I'll every now and then I'll give a shout out. Like for example, John Carter is watching. Appreciate anybody who's willing to tune in on these videos. Take time out, especially Valentine's Day, to do this. The last one we did, I did with Ron Adante from San Miguel, California, on with his bat making business. You've probably seen that on the Facebook group, and that was on Super Bowl Sunday. So you can always tell people that really love the game, they're willing to give up a bit of their holiday to do something like this. So I appreciate you doing that.
Yeah, thank you. I'm not really a big football fan, so I was all right with it to watch that conversation.
Appreciate you. Well, so one of the things that struck me when you joined the Facebook group was I was like, crap, I didn't even realize that there were men's leagues in England. I don't know why. I mean, it's probably a lot of it's just probably my, you know, uh, kind of the American in me that just kind of just trapped in my shell over here and don't really think about what's going on in other places. But man, it's everywhere though. The UK, I think Alton McGill, I think. Am I
Yeah,
right? And so
yeah,
Australia, and just several other countries that we have like one or two members from. So to start with, kind of tell us what your journey in baseball was. How did you get started in men's baseball? Well, take us back to, from when you were a kid to now. Like, just kind of give us the Cliff Notes version.
yeah. So back in my childhood, back in Hungary, uh, didn't really know anything about baseball or not really anything what's happening in the United States or even just outside of Central Europe with the political situation. So myself, I never played before, never seen before baseball. Maybe the first time when I've seen it, I was 16, 17.
Mm-hmm.
So I played different sports. My main sport was basketball. So I played basketball in high school, later university, a basketball coaching degree. So basketball was kind of a family tradition. My father, my grandfather, they
Mm-hmm.
all played basketball. Then later, when some change happened, so we start watching cable TV and then
Mm-hmm.
start watching baseball. What was an interesting game, it was a little bit weird sport, people playing actually, basically we can say smart clothes.
Mm-hmm.
But still, I didn't really think about it anytime I played this. So we've seen a couple of baseball movies like the Major League and
Oh yeah.
these kind of things. Then I think 2005 I came to UK and still here I play basketball. I was coaching a basketball team here, and then when I drove around in London, I've seen people playing baseball,
Mm-hmm.
but I also, as you, I didn't really think about it as a organized something or proper leagues or anything happening here. So then 2016, I traveled to United States the first time, and then actually when I see baseball field, I've seen it was just a couple of days before the opening a day, so I've seen small villages, smaller teams, so not major league teams. I've seen training, baseball training. Actually, first time I've seen baseball players in live.
Right. Okay.
And then I visit to LA, and I went to the LA Dodger Stadium, and I was lucky enough to go in. It wasn't game, but I could walk in and look around, and it was just amazing. And then I thinking about it, I want to play this. It looks quite interesting. So I came back from US and I started searching what's the opportunity here to play baseball in London. And just here next to us, there's my club is the London Mets. And in just a couple of week times, they started, they have a program, which is the Baseball for Beginners program every year. And I sign up and then start playing baseball, and I'm still there, and just now this is my life.
Dude, that's really a pretty cool story. I mean, and it really speaks to the just kind of the nature of baseball, how it grabs you by the heart. So, I mean, you're basically saying that, you have no affiliation with this game or very little knowledge of what it is, and then you go experience something like the Dodgers play in LA, or even some minor teams, and then you're like, you just want to, I mean, to say I just want to play this game. This game looks amazing. And I think that's true. Like, as soon as you walk out on the field, like there's some kind of peace, this aura of peace that kind of, for me anyways, and I think a lot of people, that just kind of overcomes you when you step out onto that baseball field, or even into a baseball stadium for that fact.
Yeah.
So it's really neat, a really neat story. And I just want to give a shout out real quickly to Cody Owsley and James Morales that just joined watching. Appreciate you guys watching. Um, and so you see my shirt. So this is a Dodgers shirt. This is Oklahoma. We have the minor league, the AAA team here. So the Oklahoma. I don't know if you're still a Dodgers fan or if you ever became one after going there.
Yep.
But so we have the AAA team. And I wasn't much of a Dodgers fan. In fact, the main team, major league team I've always rooted for are the Chicago Cubs. But after we got the Dodgers about 5 years ago, I've really become a big Dodgers fan. So, and so I recently was in Dodger Stadium.
Yeah. Basically, I always, I don't know, Los Angeles was for me a kind of dream city, or I don't know how to call it. So because of the basketball, so
Yeah.
Lakers was my favorite team. I was lucky enough the first time when we got cable TV at home, and the first maybe or the second game what I was seeing on TV live, it was Karim Abdul-Jabbar's final game. It was a huge something to still see him playing. And this time when I visited actually LA, the reason why I went there, it was Kobe Bryant's final game.
Oh yeah.
What I lucky enough to see in the Staples Center. So for some reason, I don't know how it came, but Los Angeles was my favorite city, and basically automatically I became a Dodgers fan.
Yeah. I've been to LA a couple times, obviously at one time, but that was I think that was the second time I'd been out there, and I never thought I would love that city, but I really do love LA. I'm not crazy about the traffic, and if I had to live there, I would be crazy about the cost of living. But in terms of the city itself, I mean, my buddy took me around, and it really is a really cool city. So you're in London though, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I've been there too one time. I stayed in my mainstay was in Oxford, but my wife and I did get to go up to London a couple times, and I think my favorite area. Well, oh, I think I have the Big Ben on my
Yeah.
arm here. So the Parliament, Big Ben was really cool. But I think my favorite area is Piccadilly Circus, and I think the reason is because it's just so fun to say. You
Mm.
know.
Yeah.
So tell me about where are you in London?
Basically, I'm living in a north part of London, not too far from the center. My first job was just next to Piccadilly Circus. So when I came here, I started to work in a restaurant.
Hmm.
I was just there next to Piccadilly Circus, so I was quite
Hmm.
spend a lot of time there. But now I changed a lot. London changed a lot in the last couple of years. But this place where I live is because of the baseball is very good. It's just a 5-10 minutes drive.
Hmm.
The whole baseball field from my house
Yeah.
is a little bit quieter. It's not that noisy than the city center, so it's quite
Hmm.
alright.
So what team are you currently playing for then?
The whole team is the London Mets
Okay.
uh, team, and is founded in 1988. Um, I think is originally they started just a youth club
Okay.
um, in that time, and then later, a couple of years later, they created adult teams. Um,
So is it
not
affiliated with the
yeah,
MSBL?
MS,
BL?
yeah, yeah, a little bit, not too much.
Okay. All right. So how many teams are in the league that you play in?
Um, you mean the London Mets or the whole
Oh,
league?
that's the whole league. Okay.
No, no, no,
Oh no, I was wondering how many teams are in that particular league.
no. Basically, we have the organization, so the British Baseball Federation,
Okay.
and I tried to find out a few information. It's not the freshest one, but what I've seen a couple of years ago, there was somewhere between 70 and 80 active team
Hmm.
in the UK. Maybe it's a little bit more, maybe a little bit less. The last year, because of this pandemic, probably a couple of teams couldn't survive, or they just freeze them for a while.
Okay.
Maybe a little bit less, but by the way, surprisingly high number. So myself, as you said in the beginning, so when I start to play baseball and I see how things work, I was surprised how active baseball life
Hmm.
basically here in England,
Yeah.
and it was good. Um, the BBF organizing the youth leagues. There's two youth league, uh, 10 to 13, the Bronco League, and 14 to 16 is the Pony League.
Hmm.
And then the adult league, we have National League, and then AAA, AA, and Single A leagues,
Right.
and also some local tournaments or whatever.
Right.
So if we are lucky, we have good weather, we don't have pandemic, then we have a quite good
Yeah.
baseball life.
Right. Yeah. So when would your season start then?
We hope so. We start in April, end of
Okay.
April, if everything works well, and it's going up September.
Yeah.
Uh,
Because you guys are on like the third shutdown, I think, right?
yeah,
Yeah. Have you
yes.
had COVID or anything?
Luckily, until now, we are survived. So
Good. Good.
no,
Yeah.
nobody in the family, nobody of my friends or
Yeah.
who I know, we haven't got it. Uh,
Yeah. I I
difficult
had it
time.
back. I had it back in July, and
Uh,
I don't want it again. That's all I could say. It kind of traumatized me a little bit, but so
it's
I tell people that a lot. Like I'm and try to wear my mask as much as I can, and mainly indoors and keep my distance. I don't even like my son will be behind me like breathing. I'd be like, man, I like it. Just there's something just weird about it now. I'm like, oh
Yeah, yeah.
gosh, man, how much work we're gonna have to get back to normal as a society. But I always tell people that it's not because of them or anything. Like I was just a bit traumatized by the experience that I had in my household with COVID. So, but we do have a question on here from James Morales, and I don't know if this would be anything you can answer. In fact, I'm actually curious about what he's
Mhm.
talking about here. He says that, are there any leagues playing older rules like 1864 rules, which I don't even know what those 1864 rules are. I'm going to have to Google that. Do you know anything about that?
No, be honest. So,
Okay. We'll see if somebody watching this can answer that question. I'm gonna have to Google 1864 rules. I am reading a book right now that's about the Cubs. Back it's about the curse, and so it takes place back in the day. And I know there have been a lot of changes. And I know recently they've made a change with the ball in Major League Baseball. Did you see that?
no, no.
So they're making the ball now. So there was a change a few years ago where I can't remember exactly what they did to the ball, but that's why you've had like just record-breaking numbers of home runs. And now they're basically making it to where it's really hard uh, to hit a home run, supposedly. And so,
Mm.
well, I don't know if that'll transfer over into the baseballs that we use, but I hope not, because it's already hard enough for me to hit a home run. So, yeah. Um,
Yeah, I heard this one. They want to do something because of the lots of home runs,
yeah.
but I didn't know they will do something with the balls.
hmm Yeah. So,
Uh, yeah,
John Carter is watching. Do you know him?
yeah, I know John. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
he said on here that you need to talk about the Bucks playing in Arizona.
yeah. Uh,
That's all he
that
said.
yeah, definitely will. So, mm, just a little bit back in time to carry on with my baseball journey. So I came to London Mets in 2016. So I done this baseball for beginners program. I done 2 seasons with them, and then I started to play in single A.
Mhm.
Um, the first season, played one of the London Mets team, and from the second season, I played with another one, and we do the third season with them now. And then in 2019, heard first about Buccaneers travel team. Uh, I've seen them here on the Facebook, and also my coaches playing with them, and they're traveling as much as I know every second year to the Arizona World Series,
Mhm.
and they were advertising they're looking for players in that year for the World Series, and I asked my coaches what they think about it. Should I go? Really interesting. So they said, yeah, why not? So I contacted John, and he also welcomed me. And I traveled to Arizona with the Buccaneers, and uh, I can say my best ever baseball experience
Mhm.
so far. Arizona, the game, what we played, the guys, the fields, all the things. So it was just amazing.
Mhm.
Uh, it, it, my baseball history is not too long, so 6 years or so, but
Yeah.
that was at this moment this was the top
Yeah.
uh, things to play. If I think in our chairman, once I talking with our chairman, and he said he finished playing baseball when he was 45. I said I started to play baseball when I was 45,
Right.
and basically after 5 years, go back to United States and playing there. It was just a fantastic something.
Mhm. So, and just so you know, my baseball history is much longer than yours, but not,
Mm,
but in terms of amateur ball, like this is this will be the I really only I've only played really a season and a half because I came in on half a season in 2019, and so this hopefully in April will be the start of my third season. So you got more tenure on me there. Uh,
Mm.
but I think that's the story of a lot of people, right? I mean, a lot of people are discovering this in their, either mid to late 30s, early 40s, and it's just becoming almost like a therapy in a way. You know what I mean? And
Mm.
so
Yeah,
go ahead.
yeah. So just remember, I don't know who was it, MLB player or coach or TV broadcaster. Somebody said baseball is not really a sport. Baseball is a lifestyle.
Yeah, so good.
And that's what I feel, and definitely. So is I think if somebody try baseball, he will
Hmm.
stay there and live this lifestyle, let's
Hmm.
say, or just live.
Yeah.
So there's nothing in between, I think.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
yeah, is with you every day, every hours of the days. Baseball is yeah is your life, I believe.
Yeah. I mean, my wife can attest to that. That's for sure. So, um, and Dan Groves, I appreciate you. He did weigh in on the some of the rules. That question that was asked earlier about the old rules. Unfortunately, Facebook doesn't show me the entire comment, so when it's long like that, so I apologize if I'm not answering any question that you asked in that, but I'll check it out on the comments later. But Steve Wolf asked a question for you. Uh, Hey, do you say your name the CS part is just S, or is it just the S sounds,
Yeah,
or does it kind of have a ch
if
sound to it?
the CS is
Right.
the SZ is the S
Yeah.
basically. The GY
Yeah.
is just
Right. Right. So, well, Steve has asked a question of you. He wants to know what different positions do you play or have you played? Kind of how does that work for you?
at this moment my primary position is catcher and also sometimes playing first base. This was also interesting. When I started to play, I believe everybody first want to be pitcher. Myself, I was thinking I try to pitch in, but quite short time I find out it's not really for me. I scared too much to hit the batter
Yeah.
player, so I just gave it up. I said it's not really for me, and then try to play third base, second base, outfield, and so in the beginning, in this beginner program, that was funny. So if you are playing on outfield, it's quite rare where the ball is going to you.
Hmm.
So beginner players is struggling to hit the ball, so it's just mainly you just standing there and nothing happening.
Hmm.
And when we started to play during this beginner baseball, in the beginning, every time the coach asked who wants to play on this position, that position, da da da. And once we didn't have catcher,
Hmm.
and so let's give it a try. Why not? So I tried to catch him, and the first time I just didn't
Hmm.
like it.
Yeah.
I was struggling with the gear, couldn't breathe properly because of the mask. So I said also it's not really for me. A couple of weeks time, we didn't have catcher again, so I said, okay, let's one more try. And that day went very well. So I really enjoyed it. And then I start checking videos and I bought a couple of catching book and whatever. And
Yeah.
then now I just agent to play something else. So just for relaxing, I sometimes play on first base.
Okay.
So
How are
now,
your knees holding up then?
uh, luckily, at this point, still all right.
Yeah.
I had a knee surgery a couple of years ago, but
Yeah.
working
Yeah.
one still.
It probably works out in your favor that you didn't have all those years under your belt catching because your knees aren't probably aren't as torn up as a lot of players are by the time when they've caught their whole lives, you know.
No, I think probably I'm quite lucky because of the basketball is quite strong. The muscles around my knee, or I don't know,
Right.
it's just it's
Right.
hopefully a couple of more years
Yeah.
still I can use it.
So did you play college basketball or semi-pro or anything like that?
No, I play in high school,
Uh-huh.
um, and then we don't really have in Hungary that kind of college sport
Okay.
than what you have in
Okay.
US. I played some amateur teams, and after I went to university, actually study basketball coaching.
Okay.
Degree from university, basketball coach. Also, I study sport management, sport event management.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
and after I stopped playing for a while, I came here to England. Here I was coaching a women basketball team,
Mm-hmm.
and then also amateur
Yeah.
level.
Gotcha. How old are you now?
51.
57. I don't know why 57. Yeah, but he said once you hit 57, he said you got an invite to play with them in Dallas. So you got a team waiting on you, over here, which is just about
Good.
3 hours from
Thank
me,
you.
by the way, Dallas is. And so,
Okay,
but
it's good. Yeah, it's funny. My son, he also was playing. He started playing when he was 6.
mhm,
After a couple of training, he told me when we came home from the training and sitting in the car, and he told me, "Papa, I have a plan." I said, "That's all right. What is your plan?" He said, "I will play here for with London Mets for a while, and then later I will go to University of United States playing there
mhm.
in college baseball, and I will go to Los Angeles Dodgers to play."
Yeah,
So that also has a bright future, the new catcher.
yeah. There you go. Very cool. Um, and I did have a question. Like, I can't remember from the pictures, but and I think this was talked about at one point in time. But how tall are you?
Uh, 6.4.
Okay, yeah, I thought you were tall, and your camera angle definitely makes you look tall. You look like 6'7" right
Yeah,
now, but and it's really interesting too that that you picked that you I don't know a lot of people that come in at your age, and then go, I think I'm going to pitch.
mm,
That's very unique too. I mean, a lot of at least the pitchers that I know have, they grew up pitching, or they pitched in college, but to have very little experience and then going to the. Did you say you did pitch some?
I tried, but I gave up very quick. I didn't. I mean, in the beginning, I think I pick up quite all right. I wasn't. I didn't say I was a great pitcher or something,
Yeah,
but I felt the move a little bit
yeah,
on that level. We didn't really think about it.
right.
Fastball, curveball, just hit the catcher if you can, and don't hit the
Hmm.
player next to him. But I worry too much about to hit the batting player. So
Right. Yeah,
I
I got you. I do
mm,
that too. I did a coach pitch for my kids team, and
mm,
they made me pitch because no one else could do it. And so like it's pretty bad if I'm the best choice, and man, as soon as I throw a ball like inside, all I'm thinking is don't hit that kid. And then of course I know the psychology of that because that's my background is that if you're thinking about it, you're more likely to do it. And so of course I'm like beaning kids all day. So,
mm,
but anyways, I'm sure a lot of people probably delight in that. But
yeah.
um, so one more question, then I'll let you go. When do you think you're going to be able to make it back over here?
It's a good question. I really hope as soon as possible. Uh, Probably this year won't work as much as I see the Buccaneers already have the team who will travel, and also because of this lots of lockdown and everything. So,
Yeah.
anyways, quite difficult life, but I really want to go back,
Yeah.
even baseball, and hopefully
Yeah.
one day still I can play again there. But definitely my son, definitely he want to go. So
Yeah. How old is he?
hopefully he's 9 this year.
9. Okay.
Yeah, 9, and he started to play when he was 6, and he also wants to be a catcher.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I think something I talked to Ron about is that, um, it doesn't, you know, baseball is a sport that where we're taught, at least I think a lot of people are taught this way, that after you graduate high school, if you don't go to college or you don't, and even after college, if you don't go pro, then you're just hanging it up. So you're basically, you got from age 4 to, if you're lucky, 22, um, if you don't go pro, and that's it, then it's just you hang it up. You don't. It's not like basketball where you can go play pickup games. That's kind of what was
mm,
taught. So even today, you can walk in. Like I'll go into my I see. I even did it. I was gonna say my kids' facility, but it's actually a training facility here in town. I'll walk in there with my son, and then I'll toss him some soft toss or something, and then he'll turn around and toss me soft toss, and I'm the only, at least from what I can see, and I'm the only adult doing that. And so I'm getting all these
mm,
funny looks from everybody, like, why is this grown man in there doing that? Because it's like there's this implication that because we're grown, well, we can play basketball and we can play soccer, we can play softball, we can play all these other sports,
yeah.
but you can't play baseball. And I was like, what incentive do our children have to fall in love with this game if they're looking at, like, in a few years' time, I'm just going to have to give it up. When I started
Mm,
playing again, my middle son fell in love with it more than I've ever known. And I think it's because, one, the pressure of him was off, you know, but
mm,
two, it's become a game that he's seeing my passion for it, and that I'm playing it well into my adult life, and maybe that's part of what is encouraging to him. I don't know.
mm. Yeah, but as much as I've seen you, you have a proper league where you play in.
Say that one more time.
Uh, I've seen the posts and videos. So do you play league now?
Yes,
Some.
yes. Our league starts around the same time as yours does. Yeah.
Mm. And what level it is? So it's
Uh, Oklahoma City. This is something else I learned too, is that there's not really, I mean, I think I haven't done a whole lot of research into it. From my understanding, I think there are like maybe two levels.
mm,
And I think I have to ask some of my buddies that might be watching this. I think I'm kind of on the where our team plays more on the bottom level, but it's not like other places. Like, we don't have age divisions. I mean,
mm, mm,
you can be 75 years old, you could be 19 years old or 16 years old. And so for one, that's kind of neat because it makes for, like, we see really good pitching. Like the pitching I saw in Arizona this year wasn't as good as the pitching that we usually see here in Oklahoma City, because we're facing
mm,
college students that are fresh out, that are in between seasons, or something, or they're fresh out of school, you know. But but one thing from doing this BTOP group, I've realized is that, man, there are some places like Arizona, a lot of different places in the Midwest where they are like tons of teams, and they have age divisions and all kinds of crazy
mm,
stuff going on. And I'm like, we need that here in Oklahoma City, but we, unfortunately, I think it just takes, I'm sure it takes a lot of manpower, and I'm sure it's probably one of those jobs that's thankless in a lot of ways. But
mm,
if I told my wife, I was like, I don't want to do it because I would be afraid if I like spearheaded that. I'd be afraid I wouldn't enjoy doing it because I'd be so caught up in the organization of it that uh, I wouldn't even get to play, you know. So, but anyways, that was a long answer to your question. So,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Well, hey, I appreciate you taking the time to do this. I know it's probably pushing 9:30. You're getting close to 10 there in the UK, and so hope to continue. Hope we get to do this again. I hope that we'll get to meet in person someday. But um, I until then, just keep at it, keep training, and uh, keep staying active on our group. I really appreciate you.
yeah. Yeah, thank you very much to have me here. And yeah, I really hope so. Someday we can meet person. We can play some more.
Oh yeah,
And yeah, everybody who was listening us or watching us, just greetings from UK.
yeah, appreciate that. We appreciate everybody that was watching that, and everybody that chimed in. And you stay safe over there. I know it's a little some of
Yeah,
the variants that are over there. It's a little it's kind of dangerous. I think I'm not sure, but it's from last I heard. But just be careful, and we'll see you soon, hopefully.
thank
Hey
you very
man,
much.
take
Same to
care. Good
you.
luck this season.